Good morning and welcome to Quilt Chat. Here we are again back in the AQS Quilt Studio, and it's nice to be back, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
Well,
It's looking like spring in Paducah.
Oh, well, yeah, at least it's not snowing, and right now it's not raining.
That's right.
So we'll take it.
Yes. And all the flowers are starting to come out.
Oh, the daffodils.
Ooh,
Someone brought me
beautiful.
daffodils. I have them in my office, and they've lasted almost a whole week.
Mine have too. And then over the weekend, they got kind of crushed down a little bit by a really short snow flurry thing that we had that had some ice in it, and then that all went away by morning.
With great big flakes,
yes,
too.
It was
beautiful.
It was beautiful.
And it went away right away, though, so that was good. Well, today we're going to talk about this quilt hanging behind us, and this is one of our contest quilts by Mikyung from Korea, and she's done some thread sketching. And I don't know if you have ever done thread sketching, but thread sketching is really just drawing with the thread in your needle on your sewing machine.
So Bonnie, I've heard about thread painting, but thread sketching. So are those different things or are they all the same thing?
Well, I always think of thread painting as like paint by number with thread.
Oh,
where you're filling in
Mm-hmm.
areas, and you may be shading from one section to another, where this really starts with a photograph, and then they're doing the outline of the photograph of what's on it, and then they'll go back and do some filling. And so of this whole wall and building is amazing.
So how do you ever learn to do something like that? That's crazy cool.
Well, you know what? I have the perfect class for you to learn how to do this.
Yes. I thought you might.
It isn't mine, but I'd like to learn how to do this.
Yes.
Teri Tope did one of our iQuilt classes, and Teri starts with a photograph. And so the dog that you're seeing there on the screen is one of Teri's, where she started with a photograph. And I went in and watched a little bit of her iQuilt class just to see exactly what she might do. And you know what? It is so easy because all she's using is a straight stitch. And she puts her quilting foot on her sewing machine, and most of the time she goes pretty slow to where she's just moving the fabric back and forth. And if she wants it a little bit darker, she goes back over that same space again and fills it in. So even with her sewing machine, she's able to get depth and shadow. Light and shadow on her work.
That'd be incredible.
Look at what she's done with that.
Look at the photograph here of her father, and what a nice way to make a great quilt that you want to keep.
That's beautiful.
Well, and so you know what? Starting tomorrow, we have a sale on the iQuilt
I
classes.
heard that. $19.95?
Yes, for any of the classes, so you can buy as many as you want. And
That's
so
wonderful.
if you want to learn how to do this thread sketching, I definitely would recommend Teri Tope's class.
That'd be so fun.
And beyond that, that Borders and Finishing Touches by Bonnie Browning is really good.
Who is she?
Well, you're gonna have to finish that quilt when you get it done, right?
yes.
Or your wall hanging. So
You always get them in the end, don't you, Bonnie?
Yeah, that's right.
That's
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Well, and Betsy, I know that you have a really fun project that you're just announced today.
I do. I am super excited. Do you
And
know
you
what
should
today
be.
is? Today is 35 days until Spring Paducah.
Oh my gosh.
I am so excited.
this is the kind of word that puts Bonnie in. Bonnie is not thinking the same way that you are. Panic mode.
Right? But no. For all the quilters, it's getting ready to plan what you're going to bring and packing your bags and plotting your trip and making sure you've got everything all ready for the best quilting adventure of your lifetime, because that's always Paducah, isn't it?
It's
Yes.
fun.
It is.
Yes.
All right, so tell us what this is about.
I thought, how can we celebrate that we're counting down to Paducah? And I went, well, let's make a quilt, right?
Of course.
So a block a day, 35 blocks plus one bonus block, because a 35 block quilt will look funny. I made 36 blocks. So, six rows of
You
6
can make
blocks.
one then when you come home.
Right?
Finish it up.
It's the after celebration. And so we have blocks for you, and you can see we've kicked it off. And so today starts this block. And this is just a really simple half square triangle block. If you can half square triangle, you can party with the best of them, right? And so this one is really simple and a lot of fun and very beautiful. 8-inch block, so lots of room there. And then tomorrow's, here's a little sneak peek.
Oh, yeah, you're going to let them see it early.
Just because you're looking at QuiltChat, nobody else gets to know. And so this one will be tomorrow's. And I tend to do that where we have something really lots of blocks, and then the next day you get to have less blocks. And
less pieces in it.
Yeah, less pieces. Sorry, yes.
And these are not the same dimension as the tiny Christmas blocks.
These are 8-inch. Those were 4-inch.
Twice as big.
So they're bigger.
That'll be great.
They are bigger. And we have different piecing techniques. Like this one has half square triangles, and this one you'll notice we have flip-de-boos, which I learned today was not actually a quilting term. I thought it was. Where you sew on the little square and you flip-de-boo it over. And so like you do with a snowball
Other
technique.
people call that a snowball.
Right, right. Flip-de-boo is much more creative though. And so instead of making flying geese units, you get these really cool little flip-de-boos. And then you get your really perfect 4 corners, and you didn't have to fly anywhere. Isn't that fun?
Yes.
And so you can find this at aqsblog.com. And please, please, please join the Facebook group, Our Project Parade, where we'll be giving you tips and how-tos. And if you get stuck, there's tons of people that will be happy to jump in and say, you know, I did that too.
Okay, so before we move off of that, you know, we don't use a whole lot of math in quilting, but for half square triangles, what do you add on to make a half square triangle?
You add 7/8 of an inch.
To your finished size.
To your finished size. Right. I use an inch because I like to size down.
Yes.
Because
you
I
like to
always
do
make
more
mistakes.
work than I do.
I know. but I'm an accident-prone person. I tend to make mistakes, and so I like to plan for them so that I can fix them because I'm a perfectionist.
Plan ahead.
Right.
Because you're a perfectionist.
That's right.
Plan for your mistakes.
That's right. But you know what? Speaking of math, Bonnie, today is a very, very important math holiday.
Pi Day.
Pi Day! Yay!
And what is pi?
Pi?
Yes.
3.14265.
Okay.
And on and on and on and,
And
on,
on and on and on.
Forever and ever and ever. It relates to circles. And so you're especially doing math to try to figure out going around circles. And so here is a pie pillow that we have on our AQS blog that is a free pattern for anybody that wants to make it.
If you're really into math, you may want a pie pillow.
If you want to look like you're really into math.
If you want to look like you
Well,
are.
I'm really
or
disappointed.
you know someone who is.
Yes, yes.
I'm really disappointed you didn't bring a real pie.
I was thinking that's the kind of pie day I was looking forward to.
And she didn't make us any pies. So
We'll have to get on to Sylvia.
Yes, we will.
Okay, well, you know what? We have a lot of patterns. You know, AQS provides many, many patterns besides a project like this. And so tell me where you'd find patterns.
Oh, I know where to find a lot of patterns. If you're an AQS member, you can go to the Members Only tab on AmericanQuilter.com. And I don't know if a lot of people realize this, that to take advantage of their the digital side of their membership, you don't have to have a digital only membership to do this, but you can go to AmericanQuilter.com, log in, and under the Members Only tab, you will find not just the patterns for the issue that you are receiving, but there's about a decade's worth of all the patterns we've had in the magazine that you can get to.
And there's some incredible quilters on there.
Yeah.
There's amazing patterns and projects, so many fun projects. Not just quilts, there's lots of craft projects and really incredible.
Right. So go to that Members Only tab and start clicking around and doing some searches, and you'll find some really amazing things.
Yeah.
So maybe your next project.
Really what you're saying is that if they get the magazine in the mail, they still can go to the website and sign in and read the magazine there if they're on the road.
Right. There's a handy link on that spot too to be able to click right over to the digital magazine, which is now in a flip book form, which is very fun to look at. The newer ones will be.
It's so fun.
Yeah. So see, we always like to bring you guys up to date.
Yes.
And
then over at AQS blog, we have over 600 free patterns, not just our fun projects. Like we've got this project going on. We're making medallion quilts. That's another serious project we've done, but over 600 free patterns. So don't miss those.
And then if you really would just like to watch, you can go to YouTube, because on the Quilt TV channel, that's the AQS channel, we have over 1,000 videos. Some of those are tips and tricks from our teachers. Some of them are interviews with our winners. We try to do interviews.
Those are great.
And you know what? That's where you can learn a lot of those techniques that made them be able to win in the contests.
And there's great teacher tips there too.
Right.
They're so cool.
Mm-hmm. There's also a playlist of product spotlights from some of the products that we have featured in the magazine or from some of our vendors.
Right.
So
okay. Well, it's
fun place to go.
There's a lot. If you just want to sit and watch a few videos, we've got a lot of that for you. And of course, we're going to be getting ready to do more videos. We're headed off to Lancaster, Pennsylvania next week. The show is March 21st through the 24th. And if you go to QuiltWeek.com and click on the Lancaster show, scroll down to the more show information. The very first button is the show book.
Wonderful.
So you can go look at it, you can print it off, and get your plans all made.
Plan ahead. Don't waste time once you get there.
And you know what I heard today?
What?
I heard you're going to have something special in Lancaster. Sunshine.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Lots of sunshine.
I think they're going to be happy about that too.
I think those storms have moved east now.
Isn't
and
that
so
wonderful?
we're looking forward to having
Yes.
good weather while we're there. And we hope that you're going to join us at Lancaster. And of course, since we're going to the show, we'll be doing QuiltChat live from the show next week. You guys get a break.
We'll wave.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be watching though.
Okay, and so we'll see you all next week coming from Lancaster.